get on there, you can actually probably see some already. And as you put a plate on there, it's going to transfer that to the inside, to the rollers and stuff on the machine. So they're saying once a week, keep that clean. That just helps with dirt getting in on the feed rollers and stuff. Okay, that monthly maintenance, because here they're saying clean the flushing pad and the head cap and apply the service fluid to the cap seal monthly. So this is just going back over the maintenance that I went over with you. Remove and clean the gum rollers and the 2 rubber pins and the polyurethane roller. Use warm water. We're going to do that then. I'm going to show you that. And then clean the finishing unit front and rear belts with a clean damp cloth. So you'd have to lift the tops off to do that. They're recommending this once a month. Okay. It's going to depend on usage. So the reason being gum, especially coming here on this side of it, because the gum gets placed on. If some would get on those, they'll start to get sticky after a while. And wipe down the exterior covers is the last thing. So the only thing I haven't shown you for maintenance is how to pull those rollers and to actually clean.
Okay.
So let's do it. I'm going to have you guys do everything. If you don't mind, I'll explain it. But if it was me, I would lift these 2 sides off, and this will be good practice. So go ahead and lift it. It might be easier with 2 people, but lift the 2 sides off. So we each get one side and lift it off, and you can just sit it off onto the floor. And then do the same on the other side.
You want to just set it?
Yes, I'm sorry. That's okay. So what we're trying to do is we made a share here. I'll show you.
It's not a good, she can't get out.
Should we? Oh, yeah, then I'll retract you, Sadie. Just stay there. Just stay there.
What do we do?
Okay,
Under?
we
Maybe
made a
put it
share
under?
folder here
Oh,
on
under?
the computer.
Oh, you could pass
Yeah.
by them. Yeah.
And anyhow, here's the shortcut to it. It's so that they can drop.
Oh, we just pause for a second while we're doing
to
this.
get them into.
That's come off on both sides.
Yeah, it'll come off on that side. I'll go over there and get it.
Okay.
This plastic cover needs to come off.
All right.
But we have to watch. If you just grab it and yank it off,
Right.
you're going to either break the plastic piece or yank the hose off.
Right, I see.
So what I do is I tell people just slip this hose, it slips in underneath here,
Right.
like that, and then I unplug it,
Oh, I see. Okay.
like that.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, so go ahead and grab that cover, and you can take it right out that way. So now you can see where the gum gets, it comes out that tube and it shoots in between the 2 rollers. Okay. So this tube then, we can just kind of like move it out of the way. We want to make sure it doesn't get caught in anything. So what I'll normally do is just maybe pull it up in here or something just to hold it so it's out of the way. But the yellow roller then, we can just lift that up and that comes right out and take it out your way. And it'll have a little bit of finisher on it. So you're getting a little bit on your fingers so it just washes off.
Okay.
So what we need to do is sit that somewhere. And basically, once a month, they're saying take it to a sink and rinse it off.
Okay. Oh,
So, do we have a box, or even on top of, and sit it in the trash can or something for now?
Put
maybe
it on
here?
top of this box.
Yeah, or on the box or something. That's fine. As long as it doesn't roll off. Great.
Whichever. Yeah.
Okay. So now this one is the tricky one. Because this one gets locked into place, and this is very important that it gets locked into place.
Do I have to remove the finisher from my hands before I touch the next
No,
roller? Okay.
no, you'll be okay, because you're going to get more on.
Well, that's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure.
So, and if you wanted, you could wear gloves.
Okay.
But what you're going to do then is push that towards the front. Go ahead. It does work a little hard. Try the other side, push towards the back. If you can't get it from the front, there you go. One way or the other, you'll get it. And then you just lift this one out. So this one would come out, and if you don't want to, we don't have to take it out.
Okay.
But then the other roller does not get locked in. You see it just lies
it
down
just
there.
rests
Then
in.
that one would get pulled out as well.
Okay. And then this also gets rinsed in the sink as well?
It would all
The
get
bottom
rinsed,
one?
but it's all new. So now, what I would suggest you do
Oh,
is when you put it in, do you see how I locked it into place?
yeah.
Try to do that. Push down on the roller though.
Oh, on the roller itself? Okay.
Yeah. Takes a little bit of strength, but you can get it. Saw how mine locked in. Put your back into it. No, I'm just-
Put my back into it from way over here.
there you go. Did it lock? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, it locked. So you
So-
see that's the hardest thing you got to do on this thing.
rollers or 3 rollers?
There's 3 rollers. There's
So
two
we have to take
black,
the bottom
and
one
then
out
there's
as
the
well?
one
Oh,
yellow.
okay.
There's a black underneath this one, and that one just sits in
This
there,
comes
so it'll
out.
lift
Oh,
right
it'll
out.
just
These,
lift,
this is
okay.
the only one that locks in place.
Okay.
So now let's get the yellow roller and put it back in.
And does the orientation of this particular roller matter?
No,
Okay.
it does not. It'll be fine. Yep, either way. And it just sits down into this groove. Okay? And you'll notice that this is the one that rides against the rubber one. That's where the fluid goes down in between both of them. So then at that point, we put our plastic cover back on. Now remember, and this is important too, because on that plastic cover, you're going to see 2 notches in the front. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to put that in, and then you'll see a pin there at the front. Do you see that?
This one? That one? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you put it on the one that's furthest away,
Uh-huh.
okay, you're going to notice that that this piece is like on top of that roller. You see that?
So it's not.
So what we want to do is go to the second
one.
one,
Okay.
okay? And then at this point, all I'm going to do is hook up the hose again. So I'll just slide that in, and it does have a holder here. You don't have to put it in that, but you can. And basically that just helps hold it into place. That's it.
Great. Okay.
So just keep that in mind. If you ever have to remove that you want to keep that in mind with that hose, so you don't. I've had people break that.
And just
Yeah.
rinse it with water.
Rinse it with just water. That's it. It'll wash all that stuff off, the gum right off. All right. So you too. And then we'll put the 2 pieces back into place.
Right. I'll be right.
You want to go under this screw here. It'll be on the other side, down at the bottom that's at the floor. And that'll go right up against this screw, and you'll have one on your side as well. Remember, just get it close to here and slide it into place. And then that groove, it'll go into that groove there.
I wasn't ready. No, it's fine.
There's not much room,
I
yeah.
just wasn't ready.
So bring it in here closer, and then sit this part down. And then slide it into place before you drop it. When you're both in, then drop it down. Are you into yours over there?
Like I'm not. Oh, I guess.
It just goes onto that bolt, and then it'll plug in as it drops down then. So just drop it.
Okay. I guess that's right. Does it overhang a little bit on,
Yeah.
on your
On-
end
yeah,
as well?
yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. I thought it was supposed to be there.
So you got it. So that's your way of knowing that it's lined up,
Yeah.
because it has a safety switch that it has to hit, and it also has to plug in.
Great.
So that if you just run it into those 2 screws and then drop it down, it works fine. Actually, when I first got here, the machine wouldn't turn on. It must have been when they did the floor. This was bent up, and it wouldn't allow the hood to sit down on. I was like, it must be a safety switch is off, and that's what it was. I bent it back down, and then it went on.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, because I bet after they installed that one, plugged it.
Right. And you know it's working now?
Because it's doing
You
that
can hear it.
process. Okay, great. Okay.
And you said you wanted to move this?
Yeah, we could actually do that now. Just keep in mind that that reservoir with the water, we're only going to want to move it a little bit for now at the time. And actually, I'm not going to be able to do it from that one. I'm going to have to do it from how far? You don't want to go too low.
It's probably
That's
fine
good,
because then we have
That'd be
a
good.
like a nice little walkway there. It seems okay. It seems
It's fine. Alright, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, but then we
That's
still have this
cool.
space
outside of bringing a job in and running a plate, that's it.
Great.
So I tell you what we could do, and while he's working on that, we could put this on a USB stick and just bring it over, and that'll
Oh, that'd be
simulate
nice.
it.
That way
That
we
way
can
we
actually
can
see
keep
it.
going.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I have one right here.
No, sorry. I thought we needed the print making. All right, so you dragged it.
Into the hot folder, and I drug it into the 15 3/4 one, and you can see the jobs coming in here because we had this turn on.
Right.
So it's monitoring that folder. So as soon as it saw a PDF come in, it's bringing it in. And I have this disabled, so that means it won't try to send it to the plate setter. It'll just hold it here.
What is the step that you did before? Oh,
Right there.
just-
So all we did was opened up this spool folder, and I drug the palm trees into this one.
Oh, okay.
So
And
you
then-
drag it into the plate size that you would want.
Okay, and
Yeah.
then it's responding.
Then it's coming in here. Yeah.
Okay, we would see this full folder in every computer or just this one?
Eventually, for now, it's just this one. He's gonna get something set up with IT to. I want to check how much RAM this has.
Just let me know when this comes.
Is there any way that you guys could add more RAM to this? It's only got 4 gigs. I'd recommend at least 8.
Yeah, yeah.
8 to 16, because I noticed it's a little sluggish, and that will really help.
Yeah, ideally, our minimum is actually 8 RAM, so. that would
Yeah,
be
it only
about
has 4 on it. I noticed the way this processing is going kind of slow. Okay, so that palm trees job came in, and you see that it's CMYK, and it looked like it was only a single color job, right?
Yeah.
So if I hit reduce roam now, there I can see the job, but if I go to options, I'm gonna shut off black. I shut off black and it's still showing. So that tells me that this job is made up of CMY of black. No, that's not what you want though, right? So when you run that job, if you're only gonna run it as a single color, aren't you gonna run it just as black?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just one plate.
one plate.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying in the way that you designed it when you saved it, if you
Yeah.
would have just made it black instead of
Instead of
CMYK,
CMYK, oh,
then you
okay.
would have only had one color coming. Because
Ah,
what you're
okay.
going to have now is, and I just proved that out by looking at the preview, when I turn black on, it's nothing. So if you tried to run the black plate, it's nothing. But the yellow, the magenta, it's using all 3 together to give you your black.
I see, I see.
So you would not want to run it like that.
Okay.
You would want to run
you would
it
have
just
what?
as black.
So delete this and then change it there.
Yeah, so that was the PDF. So if that was originally in an Illustrator job or in design
Right.
job,
Illustrator.
save it as just a single color and then send it.
Okay.
Because it made a CMY build of black. And I proved that by looking at the preview. So there, if you guys would have output that,
Yeah.
so what it's basically saying is it's designing those 3 colors, so it would have taken those 3 plates to make the black.
That's right. Yeah.
You only
You
want
don't
one.
that, right?
You only want
just
one.
plate.
Yeah.
So what this machine does, if the image is separated to CMYK, it's gonna run 4 plates instead of 1 plate. Is that what it is?
Yeah, because your job is set up that way.
That's
If
what
your
it is.
job was just set up as black, it would have you would have only got black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how to save it as single color? And
Do I know how to? I don't do design work, but did you do it in Illustrator or in design? So if you'd open up the thank you. If you'd open up the original Illustrator file.
Where's the? Yeah.
Yeah, because you're gonna send it into the RIP. You're gonna drop it into the
Ah.
also PDF.
So if it was me too, and this is something you guys may want to do, like I said, I'm not a designer or anything, but what some people do is they'll make a template up, like in Illustrator or in design, and they'll make the template either the size of the plate or the size of the paper that you're going to use,
Yeah.
that's smaller than the plate.
Yeah.
Then they'll design it so that they'll have just marks and stuff in there so that they can grab their job and place it inside there, and then save that entire job as that. So that way when it comes in,
PDF, you mean?
yeah, that way when it comes in that size of that sheet of paper or the plate size, because otherwise what you're gonna get is whatever the image size was. So when I double click this, This showing me it's 14 inches by 20 point, you know,